Like what? The companies of these driverless cars that are being tested can't be fined because what? There is no driver in the car? That doesn't make any sense. And what about the owners of the cars that are being put on autopilot? I mean, they're still guilty of the um, traffic violations, though it is mainly the like manufacturers and the software developers that are, making faulty uh, driverless cars that should be responsible for traffic violations.
Also tonight, more and more communities are test driving autonomous cars, but in California, a legal loophole lets driverless vehicles avoid any penalties for traffic violations. Bagad Shaban from our Bay Area NBC station investigates.
Driverless cars have run red lights, crashed into other vehicles, even swerved into wet cement and other construction zones. Plus, these so-called robo-taxis can't exactly take orders from police.
Sir, there's
I am all for autonomous vehicles because that would definitely help a lot of people who are unable to drive due to old age or a disability or something. But we still need to perfect these vehicles and also make the cities uh, possible for these driverless vehicles to actually function in our society. Um, how the roads and stuff are set up, it's set up for vehicles with passengers in it, not for driverless vehicles.
no one there.
So when traffic laws are broken and there's no one behind the wheel, who gets the ticket? In Texas and Arizona, where driverless cars are now common in some neighborhoods, companies that own the vehicles can be fined. But not in California. Even when
That's crazy for California. The companies that own the vehicles are responsible for what these vehicles do. Um, I don't understand why it hasn't been like federally, like a law hasn't been created federally that the companies that own these cars or the businesses being contracted and using these cars aren't responsible for the accidents or whatever caused by these vehicles.
Driverless cars break the rules of the road, we've learned there's not much law enforcement can do. Here in California, traffic tickets can only be written if there's an actual driver. So no human, no fine.
We are very much in the Wild West of illegal.
Okay, so if somebody is in a driverless vehicle and has it on autopilot, and are they like just considered a passenger? And if there is a hit and run, does that mean that that passenger is not responsible because it was on autopilot? That wouldn't make any sense.
Legal gray area when it comes to driverless cars.
California attorney Michael Stevenson has been representing car accident victims for more than a decade.
Laws are going to have to change.
Right, they absolutely are. What we really need is an overhaul, a new set of laws for driverless cars.
It was August.
Yeah, just how anytime new technology is created, eventually there will be laws passed to help regulate that technology or to protect people from accidents that may happen from it.
When California regulators gave the green light for GM's Cruise and Google's sister company Waymo to expand and start collecting fares as they shuttle passengers across San Francisco. But just 2 months later, the California DMV determined Cruise posed an unreasonable risk to public safety. Cruise saying, the most important thing for us right now is to take steps to rebuild public trust.
Well, yeah, you can do that by improving your software and hardware to make it possible for your cars to function, as well as invest in the city to like put sensors and stuff into the roads and all that so that these cars can actually sense what is going on besides just using like video feed and stuff.
Even if it means doing things that are uncomfortable or difficult. The company pulled all 400 of its driverless cars in the U.S. off the road. Cruise declined our interview request, but we did hitch a ride with its main competitor, Waymo, which is now the only driverless fleet in America actively picking up passengers.
Not all autonomous vehicle technologies are equal.
Chris Ludwig heads product management for Waymo.
If driverless cars can still make mistakes, what makes you so convinced they're still safe enough to be on the road?
While there have been examples pointed out where driverless cars continue to need to improve, when we make an improvement once, that's fixed in our system and the whole fleet gets better. And so the technology is only getting better from here, and it's already really good.
Waymo and Cruise say,
But at the moment, it's not really good enough to be used like in the public, since it's still a lot of driverless vehicles are causing accidents. And like look at Tesla's driverless vehicles. They killed a person, so somehow Elon Musk is not liable for that.
their own research has found their driverless cars are in some ways safer than human drivers. Neither company has experienced a single death. Waymo has traveled more than 7 million miles, Cruise more than 5 million. But some question if that's enough of a track record, since human drivers on average cause one death about every 100 million miles.
I think all of us are still struggling to understand whether they really are safer than human drivers and in what ways they might not be.
Irina Raiku heads the Internet Ethics program at Santa Clara University and says we humans have been forced onto a sort of test course for driverless cars.
Other drivers, pedestrians, cyclists are all of a sudden now guinea pigs.
Absolutely, all of us really who live in areas where such cars are driving.
Meanwhile,
I mean, yeah, technically that is pretty true. These companies are testing their driverless cars using the public as the test group to see how well the driverless cars interact with people, and sometimes it's not really good.
California's DMV says it is working to update regulations. So the next stop for these driverless cars could